What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
UFC Fight Night, Lee versus Oliveira from Brasília, Brazil, happened this past March 14th, and it has been the beginning, it was the beginning of what has become just an insane life that we're living here in the worldwide pandemic of coronavirus. So the event was able to take place. No audience in attendance, so giant arena, nobody there except for Mick Maynard and the crew, and still great fights though. I mean, it really reminded me of the when they do the Ultimate Fighter fights or the Contender Series. Um, just having no real sound, just hearing the commentary, but man, fighters are gonna fight whether they have a crowd or not, and it seemed to almost get because there was no crowd and no chanting. I mean, half of the card was it was like Brazil against the world. So you have to imagine that in a lot of these fights, especially the ones where a Brazilian lost, that the crowd would have gotten into it. But there's a lot of decisions, but it seemed like almost every fight towards the end of the fight in that last round, like people were just going all at it. So even though there were decisions, it was still a fun night of fights. I really enjoyed it. I really appreciated that there was live fights and they were all available on ESPN Plus. I was worried that it was going to be just an ESPN card, in which case I would not have been. I would have had to use illegal means to watch the card, which I would have done because there's no way I was going to miss a fight card, especially considering there might not be any fight cards coming up. You never know. Everything's up in the air. Dana White, as of this moment, this is Sunday, at what time is it? Pacific time, 1:30 Pacific time. And last I checked, there's still a few fighters on the London card, even though it's not going to be in London. There's not a venue yet. So there might just be a main card on some Indian, tribal ground out here, potentially. Who knows? Because there's a lot of casinos out here in the valley, close to LA, I would imagine, kind of close to Las Vegas, too. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did the event out here, which if they do, of course, there wouldn't be anybody in attendance, but that's crazy. That's crazy that a UFC fight will be potentially taking place. Tyron Woodley still wants to fight. Colby Covington threw his name into the ring, as it were. So maybe that I'm down for that fight. That's an amazing fight. You want to talk about somebody stepping up on short notice to make it happen. But back to the Brasilia card, the main event, Kevin Lee just got destroyed by Charles Oliveira. Oliveira looked great, by the way. Like, he looked big. He almost looked bigger than Kevin Lee. And Kevin Lee didn't make weight, which, he, like, after his last win, he was like super humble guy. And then in the lead up to this, he became super arrogant guy again. Which his brand of shit talking is just, it's not good. It's not good. You can tell he's being himself, but he's just not good at it. I don't know. It's cringy. It's unintentionally cringy, unlike Henry Cejudo, that's clearly leaning into the cringe. Kevin Lee, it's just embarrassing to listen to sometimes. But he lost. He was kind of getting pieced up, had some moments. But once Oliveira got a hold of him, sunk in that guillotine in the third round, it was over. And you could kind of see the type of person Kevin Lee is, in a way, where he clearly tapped, and then completely didn't remember it, which could happen, I guess. Maybe he did go out for a second, didn't realize, but wasn't like a tap where you're going out. It just seemed shady as fuck. I saw some memes online about he'll do great in Bellator, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets cut. It's a stacked division. He didn't make weight. He just lost Charles Oliveira. Um, but I mean, I don't know if he's an annoying guy to work with or not, but I wouldn't be surprised. Damian Maia got knocked out. He was a little like slight controversy, but that seemed to be a solid knockout from Gilbert Burns. But overall, a fun night of fights despite no crowd. It was an earlier card too because of the whole situation, which I enjoyed as well. But I'm really hoping that these upcoming cards. I was really excited about watching these fights in the Apex arena or the Apex ring where they should do the contender series. It's a smaller cage, which they might still use smaller cage. I don't know if they find a venue for these places, but it seems like everything is getting canceled. Everything is being locked down. I don't know how I'm going to be making money. So if you want to, support, promote, sponsor, I'm looking for sponsors for the show. So if you want to be a sponsor and throw me some money, I will do the best sponsorship reads you will ever see. But yeah, so I don't know how anybody's going to be making money. A lot of people are out of work. Only people that can work from home really are having jobs, but a lot of people are getting laid off, and it is crazy. It's crazy times right now. Crazy times for a flu, which most people, if you're healthy and you're not old, like unless you have chronic diseases already, your immune system's deficient for whatever reason, or if you're old, or if you're young, they're the ones at risk. But most of us, it's a flu. It's a bad flu, but it's a flu. We get over it. Like our immune systems can handle it. But because it's so dangerous for the other people in our society, everything's getting shut down. And economically, it is horrible. Uh, I'm not, as far as entertainment wise, I mean, there's always shit to watch on Netflix and Hulu and all of the different streaming platforms. But it would be nice to keep these, because I'm excited for these upcoming cards. So far, if there is fights next week, it's Tyron Woodley potentially against Colby Covington or somebody else. Kevin Holland, this is off of Wikipedia, again at 1:30 on Sunday, 1:30 p.m. Kevin Holland versus somebody potentially. Darren Stewart versus Marvin Vittori, and Paul Craig versus Ryan Spann. So even if it's just those 4 fights, I would like to see them so I can talk about them next week, next Tuesday. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they figure something out. It's really cool to see Dana just trying to figure all this stuff out, and it's not the first time he's done it, but it's probably the biggest kind of UFC booking crisis he's ever had to deal with. The craziest one up until that was when they moved the John Jones fight from Vegas to LA, or LA to Vegas. I forget which direction they went. But because of the picogram thing, which isn't even a thing anymore, wouldn't be a concern today if that were to happen again. But that was a crazy thing to move a fight card on short notice. And it seems like there's a bunch of fight cards. And that's if all things go well. Those are just the 3 next cards. But, things might get shut down for longer than that. Hopefully not. I know places that have been dealing with this, like China and Korea, I think is starting to go down. But they're also able to do free testing for everybody, like drive-up testing. Nobody's getting tested out here. Nobody's tested. And not everybody has health insurance or sick time. Money's tough, people. Also, if you need Photoshops, hit me up. Photoshops, you want to promote this, you want to sponsor the show, or you want to buy my artwork, go do that. But that's it for this episode of The Ray Taylor Show. New episodes come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at inspireddisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a great day, everybody. Remember to wash your hands. Peace out.